toast makers, shot takers, and y'all already know my favorite. Puff chasers. This is your Grace, Sir Bradley Ashton, back with another episode of I Got Five on it, where I'm just giving my 5 cents from the masculine millennial perspective. But if you don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please share with anybody who got an XY chromosome. And ladies, y'all welcome as well. And on with the show. So if you see the thumbnail, I already know that this is gonna probably be one where it's gonna probably be mixed. There gonna be some individuals that say, "Oh, you just messing her words up, Brad. That ain't what she really meant." And there gonna be some folks that gonna be like, "Nah, Shana was tripping with that comment." But I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a little different. I'm trying to utilize this streaming system, and I'm gonna try to share the video of the interview so y'all can't say that, "Oh, I'm messing this woman words up," or "I took it out of context." We finna sit up here, okay, and look at this video. Maybe not in its entirety, but to the point where Miss Tia Mowry, actress, if you haven't been keeping up with her, she recently filed for divorce from her longtime partner Corey Hardy. The news came out around the 4th of October, and pretty much she's kind of been like on a, I guess you could say like a circuit, just trying to get her name back out there. I don't know if she got like any projects going on, but we'll probably see in the interview if she mentions anything new she got going on. But she's been making waves this past week when she made comments about her impending divorce from Corey Hardy, fellow actor, where she made statements that she believes that her marriage was a quote unquote success. That she look at it as a graduation of sorts. That people always look at marriage as successful as long as longevity is tied to it. She looks at her marriage as a success because she had 2 kids come from that union. And some women who, as I like to say, use either biscuit eating bulldog babble or gynocratic word salad, they said, "Oh, that was just so refreshing that she would look at her marriage as a graduation. That you don't have to be in your relationship, or you don't have to remain in your marriage to for it to be considered successful. That you could be in it for a certain amount of time, and as long as you see it as successful, it was successful." And then you got people on the other side of the aisle that's saying to themselves, "No, I can't get jiggy with that." Last time I heard, when you're in school, either you graduate or you drop out, right? And for myself, I'm kind of on that latter end of, nah, dog, I don't look at it as no graduation. If anything, I would argue that it was a failure. But I'll get into that later on. I want to show the video first. So y'all can't say that, "Oh, I ain't giving her no fair chance. I'm missing her words and shit." No, nope, nope. We're gonna show the video, and I'm gonna give the rest of my response to the interview. Okay. So fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Woo, fair use. So we're gonna go ahead here. Let's see. Trying to see if we do this here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All righty. So we're gonna go ahead and expand this here.
And fun. It sounds like a lot of us. Let us welcome actress and producer Tia Mowry. It is you. Good to see you. You look amazing. I love this audience. So amazing. Got the DJ here. Better lived apart than together.
Yes.
How did you know that it was time?
That's a really good question.
Take that route.
I knew when I really started to focus on my happiness. I feel like women, we tend to focus on everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay, meaning our children. Meaning, our children, our friends, our, family. But at the end of the day, it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening. And it's not easy. It's a hard journey. But at the end of the day, I feel like it is so, so worth it. So
Yeah. Thank you. Tia. What I think.
So she's talking about having this quote unquote journey, right? And I ain't saying that you can't be happy with yourself, because at the end of the day, no person or no relationship can truly make one happy, right? My whole thing is, if you gave vows to a man, right? And you said that you promised to love this person till death do you part, through sickness and in health, through rich or poor, forsake the others. If you have said these words not only to your husband, to the man whom you said you was going to live the rest of your life with, but you said this in front of people, but you now fast forward so many years later, and now you're saying that you're only focusing on yourself. You just said, bump my marriage. You just said, bump my kids. I'ma now try to focus on what makes me happy, and totally disregarding the other relationships that you have in your life. But let's continue.
First of all, you could hear the people saying yes, and here, people at home are sitting thinking like, I feel this.
Yeah.
Because marriage is hard,
It takes a lot of work.
And it also takes a lot of guts to know when you need to change something.
Yes, it really does.
It takes a lot of courage to say, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you knew, like, I have to do something different?
Yes, I feel like when I started to, again, like I said, focus on myself, but there was this sadness. And I knew that life is short. I had actually, lost my grandmother. We had lost Elena Housley, and both of them at the same time. There was just an aha moment in me where I said, you know what? You need to tap in, see what's really going on with your happiness. Life is short. Let's go. Let's start working on you and really focusing on what really, really matters here, which is, at the end of the day, your peace, your joy, and your happiness. So I would say that. And I was in therapy as well. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of therapy. So it was all of that, together that gave me that aha moment.
What were you the most afraid of stepping in? Because this is your step.
So now she's throwing in the whole notion of life is short, and she had the recent deaths of her grandmother and her niece that really had her evaluating her life and realizing that she needed to make certain moves, certain changes to her life so that she could have a certain quality of life. And she also brought up the fact that she went to therapy, which I think in this culture, I'm not saying for a person not to have a good grasp of their mental health, but I think a lot of times when we talk about mental health, I think we can sometimes lean on that too much. If I'm making sense of what I'm saying, I think we sometimes use the term mental health a lot of times as a crutch as to why certain things are going on in our lives instead of just saying like I just didn't want to be in this relationship no more, right? Um Again, it goes back to that whole point of if you're in a relationship, right? If if it's not going wrong, right? If that man isn't doing anything wrong in the situation that will garner you um breaking this union, why go forward with that? Like she talk about therapy. I wonder, did she even remotely think about doing couples therapy, right? Which a lot of people would say, well, hell, if you in couples therapy, you may as well say the marriage over with. And I hear that. I'm not gonna say that I don't hear that. But at the same time, in the same breath, if you have they was married for 14 years. I think they was together another additional 6 to 8 years. So we're talking about anywhere between 20 to 22 years together in all. And you just gonna just throw that shit away? Like that's man, that's damn, bro. That's a lot, bro. But let's continue, man.
Stepping in, because some people, when you say, "Oh, my husband and I are going our separate ways," they go, "Oh no,
Yeah.
oh that's sad." But you actually see this as
a celebration.
A celebration.
I really do. I look at it as one of my friends, she sent this beautiful letter to me from a woman who got a divorce. And it's all about, this perspective, in my opinion, and just changing the narrative. My marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration. So that's basically, how I'm looking at it now. And I feel like people when they look at marriage, that success equals longevity. But no, at the end of the day, it's, are they happy? Are they thriving? Are they growing? And I feel like that is what is most important. It's not about staying in something because however long you are in that situation, that equals success. It's about really, again, are you happy? Because life is really short.
Yeah, it's like a blank.
I mean, you are.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, man. Like she said that her marriage was like a curriculum and said out of that curriculum there is a graduation, right? And she kept talking about being happy, right? And my whole thing is when you talk about marriage, from my perspective, when you talk about marriage is not about being happy, right? Like I think in modern times we have this whole twisted concept of what we think uh marriage should be, right? Marriage is about duty. Marriage is about responsibility. Marriage is about sacrifice, right? We hear too many times, especially from the female perspective, about happiness and um, doing what's right for them and life being too short and making sure that I'm choosing myself and I have self-love and all this. But at the end of the day, you made vows. You made vows. You made a promise not only to yourself, your spouse, but if you believe in a higher power, the most high, that you will do everything in your power to remain in that situation. And I just think, too many people are trying, well, let me just say not people, because I want to be specific. I just think when we talk about relationships, you got too many women out here who are trying to modernize what they think or what they're trying to fit marriage to kind of be like instead of how it's always been, right? It's almost like trying to reinvent the wheel, and the wheel is already in its most perfect form, right? And the thing of it, you talk about life is too short. I'm like, yeah, life is too short for sure. You never know, when you're gonna take your last breath, or when your time is coming. But I just think at the same time, man, it's just like, come on, bro. Like, how can you sit up here and say these things, right? But then we don't even tell the side of the man or even concern ourselves. Well, was Corey happy in the situation? How does Corey feel about the relationship, right? Does Corey feel that they had irreconcilable differences? See, it'll be a difference if both of them said, you know what, yeah, we tried it. We've been together for a long time, but we just didn't work out, and it was we came to an amicable decision to go ahead and split up and go ahead and split up, but still do our best to be co-parents for Cree and Cairo. But no, that's only her that's saying that, right? And then when you hear your soon to be ex-wife talking about um our relationship was a graduation of sorts, that shit would probably make you fucking wonder, like, well, damn, was our shit even real to begin with, goddamn? That you would even sit here and say that our relationship was a graduation, that it was a curriculum, and that it's a graduation. Like, are you trying to give us a fancy word salad because you're in denial? And then to take it a step further, what are you graduating to? What's next? What's next after this relationship? Is your life now gonna solely be about your self-love? Because guess what? Now that you are a independent divorcee, you're now gonna have automatic custodialship of your kids. So you still not gonna necessarily be able to focus on yourself. This sounds like somebody who would do this if they were a empty nester. You're still gonna be raising kids well into your 50s, damn near 60 years old. So I don't understand this whole idea of, oh, I'm gonna have this whole idea or this whole mindset now is gonna be this self-love, self-love, self-love. It's gonna be hard for you to even do that when you still have kids to think about. Now that you have a sense broken up a family unit, right? And that's the thing I think that's really kind of like bothersome for me to fault the most is like you have kids to think about, you have a family, and that family is being split up. And I'm pretty sure that people are saying, well, she's not happy, she shouldn't stay in a relationship. Again, it's not a relationship is not supposed to make you happy, right? That's one thing I think a lot of people lose sight on. It's not supposed to make you happy. Only you can make yourself happy, and you had to have things happening in your life to do that. And it kind of reminds us as men that when it comes to the modern woman or just women in general, there is no satisfying the unsatisfiable. There is no satisfying the unsatisfiable. So I look at this, I'm just like, damn. She's not putting her kids in a situation now. They got to split up between her and their father. I just hope she know what she's doing, man, because this could potentially backfire on her big time. As a as a woman who's now 44 years old, raising 2 young kids. We ain't heard none bad about Corey. He ain't broke. Man got, $4 million. We haven't heard people try to accuse him of infidelity. He strongly denounced that shit, as he should, because you don't want nobody dirtying your name up. I mean, he just seemed like he was a devoted husband. Now, granted, we don't know everything that goes on in people's relationships, so we're just speculating at this point. But it just seemed like, man, you could do everything. You can do everything right, man, and still, and still not win the end, man. So, man, I just say, man, honestly, if you got a man like that, bro, who on paper and from the outside looking in, it's like he did everything right and still end up, reaching this fate. Man, I'll just say, fellas, one thing I would say that I agree with, man, just focus on you, man. Focus on you, work on yourself, work on your purpose, and may the fruits of your success yield you the things that you desire most. Cause it's crazy out here, man. And people wonder why men ain't trying to get married no more. Shit like this here. But you know, I'm a gloom and doom guy, as some people say. I'm a pessimist, but I'm just a realist, bro. And it's not looking pretty out here, man. But y'all let me know what you think, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Oh my god, bro. But as always, that's just my 5 cents. Comment down in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts and what you think. But until next time, eyes front, head out to the finish. See this shit through.